listen from Deepak, who's a Supreme Court advocate, joining us on the phone line on that. Mr. Deepak, what do you think was the intention of Nupur Sharma to approach the Supreme Court and not take up the matter with the respective high courts in different states? We know this is going to be excruciating for her. She may have thought of security threat, basically the threat to life against her must have been her primary contention to reach out to the apex court. But we're very surprised that the Supreme Court never paid heed to any of those threats to her life. Instead, pulled her up heavily, calling her solely responsible for the environment in the country today. How do you see this?
As a practitioner, I genuinely believe that this particular order and the observations made by the court in this particular case are really disappointing and depressing for multiple reasons. Nupur Sharma's prayer before the Supreme Court asking for transfer of all the cases to one jurisdiction is not out of the ordinary. In fact, it is par for course. Such petitions are filed on a daily basis when a particular individual is harassed legally through multiple cases across the country. So what she has done, legally speaking, based on several precedents of the Supreme Court itself, is not something that smacks or reeks of arrogance. She has exercised her legal rights to approach the court. This is exactly why the provision for transfer exists in the law. That's point number one. Point number two, by making these observations, even before a trial court has had an opportunity to apply its mind to the case against Nupur, I'm sorry to say these observations have prejudiced her chances before a trial court or even before a high court if she wants to move for quash of these allegations and these charges. Three, this unfortunately amounts to victim shaming, because to hold that she is responsible for the murders caused and actual murders across the country by those who claim to be offended by the speech and the statement that she made, I'm sorry to say, has the textbook effect of chilling free speech in this country, which the watchdog of the Constitution, namely the Supreme Court, ought not to have done, according to me, with a lot of respect. That's all I have to say.
Right. You know, Deepak, at this point, the Supreme Court has also said she needs to apologize. She owes an apology to the country today, and also asked on what kind of arrogance is she really showing to come to the apex court first and not seeking some kind of intervention from the high court. Where does this leave Nupur Sharma at this point? Again, you rightly said that this has already set the tone. A quick word from you on where does this leave Nupur Sharma with the kind of legal options that she has left now?
In all humility, it was not for the court to extract an apology from Nupur Sharma or to say that she must apologize. This is not for any court in this country to do under any provision of the Constitution. So that observation itself, according to me, is beyond the pale of the Constitution. Second, all that she can do at this stage is either seek a review or go back to a high court or different high courts asking for quashing of these petitions, or at least to say that some of these petitions must either be transferred or they must go to a single jurisdiction. She has to now go back to the high court to make these prayers, or she can try her shot by way of a review before the Supreme Court. But the review typically goes back before the same bench, and if it is the very same bench, I doubt she will succeed.
All right, and a quick word and a final word on the arrest that the Supreme Court has asked. Well, the other people who have made subsequent comments post Nupur Sharma's remark. Nupur Sharma has so far not been arrested, but they have been. What does this again direct?
Nupur Sharma's statement is with respect to a particular position on a belief system. The subsequent statements call for murders, call for beheadings. So there is no sense of proportion when we try and equate both. Please understand that. It's almost as good or as bad as saying that something that is said in writing is the same as asking for someone's head to be chopped off. This is a false comparison. This equivalence cannot exist. Nupur Sharma's statement did not endanger anybody's life, whereas the calls and the reactions thereafter have endangered public property, public life, public safety, as well as individual safety. Where is the comparison here?
When you speak of arrests on the heels of Zubair, who is the alt news founder, he's been arrested on remarks that he's made years ago. Could that be equal to what Nupur Sharma has done? Is that as heinous and serious?
As far as I am concerned, Nupur Sharma's statement was made not off the cuff. She responded to a specific comment. Therefore, her statement must be understood in the backdrop of the discussion that was taking place in that particular program. Zubair's statements were standalone tweets which he's been making over the years, which for all practical purposes amounts to constant targeting of a particular community without any provocation. That is the distinction. Nupur Sharma did not make any statement until a statement was made, and that too a derogatory statement was made against the Shivalingam at Gyanvapi. That is the context in which the statement needs to be placed. Unfortunately, neither the Supreme Court did that, nor are we doing it.